Most failed Ford engines ever made. Have you ever wondered which Ford engines cause the most headaches for owners? From notorious oil leaks to unpredictable breakdowns, Ford's history is packed with engines that left drivers frustrated and repair bills sky high. In this video, we're diving into the most failed Ford engines ever made, showcasing the worst of the worst. Whether it's overheating nightmares, oil consumption issues, or timing chain disasters, these engines earned their place in Ford's Hall of Infamy for good reason. Think you know which engines make the list? Or maybe you've had your own battles with one of these problematic power plants. We want to hear from you. Drop a comment below, tell us your experiences, and share which engine troubles you've faced. And don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Muscle Car Masters and share this video with friends who've had their fair share of engine troubles. Let's get started. Ford 5.4-liter Triton V8. Is the Ford 5.4-liter Triton V8 the worst engine Ford ever made? For many Ford owners, it just might be. Known for powering trucks and SUVs like the F-150, Expedition, and Lincoln Navigator from 1997 through 2010, the 5.4-liter Triton V8 had solid specs. It offered 295 to 390 horsepower with robust torque ideal for hauling and towing. However, these strengths were overshadowed by critical failures, making it one of Ford's most infamous engines. Let's start with one notorious issue: spark plug blowouts. The 5.4-liter Triton, especially the 3-valve models from 2004 to 2008, frequently ejected spark plugs due to insufficient threading in the cylinder heads. Not only did this lead to costly repairs, but it also posed serious safety risks if power was suddenly lost at high speeds. Timing chain problems were another major pitfall. This engine often suffered from loose chains and worn-out timing components, which could throw the entire engine out of sync and lead to catastrophic failure if left unchecked. Owners also had to contend with cam phaser failures, which caused rattling sounds and reduced performance. Poor oil flow contributed to cam phaser issues and led to frequent sludge buildup. The repair costs alone led many owners to replace their engines entirely, further cementing the Triton's reputation among the worst Ford engines. With these persistent and costly flaws, it's no wonder the Ford 5.4-liter Triton V8 often tops lists of the most failed Ford engines. While it promised power and versatility, the Triton's hidden costs ultimately outweighed its strengths, leaving a legacy of frustrated owners. Ford 4.6-liter V8. Is Ford's 4.6-liter V8 engine one of the worst Ford engines? For some, it's a workhorse that powers through hundreds of thousands of miles, while others view it as a notorious culprit of costly failures. Used widely from 1991 to 2014 in models like the Crown Victoria, F-150, and Mustang, the 4.6-liter V8 became known for its durability in fleet applications. However, several significant issues have cast a shadow over its legacy. One major flaw? The plastic intake manifold used from 1996 to 2001. Ford aimed to reduce weight and cost, but this plastic manifold was prone to cracking under temperature changes, leading to sudden coolant leaks and overheating. For affected models, repairs could be expensive, and Ford had to issue a revised manifold with reinforced aluminum to mitigate the issue. Another headache for 4.6-liter owners was the engine's timing chain guides. Made of plastic, these guides deteriorated over time, especially with poor maintenance, causing the timing chain to loosen. This could lead to engine misfires and, in severe cases, complete engine failure. The repair costs for timing chain issues frequently reached $1,000 or more. The infamous spark plug ejection was another pitfall, particularly for 3-valve models. Spark plugs could blow out due to the aluminum head's shallow threading, resulting in costly repairs if the cylinder head needed replacement. Ford tried to address this with technical service bulletins, but it remained a recurring issue. Despite these flaws, the Ford 4.6-liter V8 gained a loyal following, with many engines lasting well over 200,000 miles with regular maintenance. Still, these issues make it a contender among the most failed Ford engines, leaving it with a complex and controversial reputation. 5.4-liter Modular V8. Could Ford's 5.4-liter Modular V8, 3-valve, be one of the most failed Ford engines? It's a question many Ford truck and SUV owners have pondered. Known for its robust torque and solid towing capabilities, this engine powered popular models like Expedition from 2004 to 2008. However, beneath the power lurked serious issues that left many owners with steep repair bills. One of the most infamous issues? Spark plug ejection. Due to shallow threading in the aluminum heads, improperly installed spark plugs could blow out under pressure, causing expensive damage and often requiring cylinder head repairs. Timing chain failures were another common problem, particularly in engines with neglected maintenance. With oil sludge building up in narrow passages, hydraulic timing tensioners would fail, causing the timing chain to loosen and eventually misalign, resulting in catastrophic engine damage. The 5.4-liter Modular V8's variable valve timing cam phasers were another weak spot. When oil passages became clogged from sludge, these phasers could make a loud rattling noise and wear down prematurely. Repairing or replacing cam phasers alone often didn't resolve the issue, as insufficient oil pressure typically meant the entire timing system was compromised. To mitigate these risks, experts recommend frequent oil changes, every 3,000 to 4,000 miles instead of the dashboard's suggested 7,000. Even with regular maintenance, however, this engine remains a risky investment, often seen as one of the mad Ford engines due to its costly quirks. The Ford 5.4-liter Modular V8 is a testament to the fine line between performance and reliability, leaving a mixed legacy as one of the worst Ford engines despite its impressive power. 6.0-liter Power-stroke diesel V8. Is Ford's 6.0-liter Power-stroke diesel the worst engine Ford ever made? Ask any mechanic, and you'll probably hear a resounding yes. Released from 2003 to 2007, the 6.0-liter Power-stroke had high aspirations to replace the legendary 7.3-liter Power-stroke, but it quickly gained a reputation for catastrophic failures. The engine specs were initially promising: 325 horsepower and 570 pound-feet of torque, ideal for heavy-duty trucks like the F250 and F350. However, beneath the power lay serious design flaws that resulted in an array of problems. One of the most notorious issues was the head gasket failure, often triggered by Ford's use of torque-to-yield head bolts. These bolts couldn't handle the pressure, especially with aftermarket modifications, leading to blowouts that earned the engine the nickname 6-point blow. The 6.0-liter Power-stroke also suffered from severe oil cooler and EGR cooler failures. Tiny oil passages in the cooler would clog, leading to overheating in the EGR system. This, in turn, would cause coolant to leak into the intake manifold, creating dangerously high cylinder pressures that could damage the engine. Furthermore, soot buildup in the EGR valve would cause it to stick, further impairing engine performance. Adding to the engine's woes were issues with the fuel injection control module and turbocharger. The FICM often failed due to poor voltage regulation, and the variable geometry turbo had a tendency to stick due to carbon buildup, resulting in erratic boost control. Many owners have resorted to bulletproofing their 6.0-liter Power-strokes, upgrading components like head studs, oil coolers, and EGR systems to make the engine reliable. But why should you need to spend thousands just to keep your engine running? Ford eventually replaced the 6.0-liter with the 6.4-liter Power Stroke, but the damage to its reputation remains. Despite some loyal fans, the 6.0-liter Power Stroke's legacy remains one of Ford's most failed engines. Its inherent flaws and high-cost repairs make it a risky choice in the used truck market. Ford 5.0 Coyote V8. While it's celebrated for powering Mustangs with impressive performance, this engine has a fair share of notorious issues. From oil consumption lawsuits to timing chain troubles, these problems cast a shadow over its reputation as a reliable workhorse. One of the most widely reported issues is excessive oil consumption, especially in 2018 to 2020 F-150s. Many owners reported needing oil top-offs as frequently as every 3,000 miles. A lawsuit revealed that defective piston rings allowed oil to leak into the combustion chamber, damaging parts like oxygen sensors and catalytic converters, and raising emissions. Despite complaints, Ford claimed the oil usage was normal, leaving many frustrated with repair costs. Another persistent problem involves the timing chain. Many 5.0-liter Coyote engines have faced metallic rattling sounds caused by timing chain tensioners losing their grip, eventually leading to timing misalignment and potential engine failure. Ford issued technical service bulletins, but out-of-warranty repairs can run over 2,000. Despite its power and versatility, the 5.0-liter Coyote V8 has left some owners questioning its reliability. While not a complete failure, these issues are significant enough to place it among Ford's most problematic engines. 6.4-liter Power Stroke Diesel V8. Could Ford's 6.4-liter Power Stroke Diesel V8 be one of the most failed Ford engines of all time? Introduced in 2008 to address the notorious issues of the 6.0-liter Power Stroke, this engine instead brought a new wave of problems, becoming infamous among Ford Super Duty owners. At first glance, the 6.4-liter seemed promising, delivering powerful specs, 350 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque. But these strengths were quickly overshadowed by severe design flaws. Fuel dilution was one of the most damaging issues. Diesel fuel would mix with the engine oil, compromising its lubrication and leading to accelerated wear and catastrophic engine failure. In extreme cases, fuel dilution even led to engine fires. Another major flaw was the diesel particulate filter, which often became clogged, restricting exhaust flow and hindering performance. This, coupled with frequent turbocharger failures and cracked-up pipes, left many owners with steep repair bills. The engine was also notorious for cracked pistons and EGR cooler failures, further contributing to its reputation as one of Ford's worst engines. Despite being designed to outshine its 6.0-liter predecessor, the 6.4-liter Power Stroke is now remembered for its high service costs and reliability issues, leaving many owners questioning Ford's approach to diesel engineering. Ford Essex V6. Introduced in 1982, the Essex V6 found its way into a wide range of Ford models, including the Taurus, Thunderbird, and Mustang. Despite its popularity, the Essex V6 quickly earned a reputation for being one of the worst Ford engines, largely due to persistent head gasket failures. The Essex V6's design combined an aluminum head with a cast iron block. This material mismatch led to different thermal expansion rates, which put excessive stress on the head gasket. As a result, head gaskets often failed prematurely, causing coolant to leak into the combustion chambers. Symptoms included white smoke from the exhaust, rough idling, and engine overheating, which often led to severe engine damage if left unresolved. Despite updates to the engine, including the addition of sequential port injection in the 1990s, head gasket issues persisted. The supercharged version used in the Thunderbird Super Coupe, suffered even more from these failures, with costly repairs for blown head gaskets and damaged internals before reaching 150,000 miles. In a last-ditch effort to improve the Essex's reputation, Ford increased its displacement from 3.8 to 3.9 liters in some models. However, the damage was already done, and the Essex V6 remains a symbol of Ford's struggles with reliability. While the engine delivered up to 230 horsepower in supercharged form, its performance couldn't compensate for the frequent, costly repairs. For many, the Essex V6 will always be remembered as one of Ford's most unreliable engines, notorious for leaving drivers with blown gaskets and hefty repair bills. Ford 3.5-liter EcoBoost. Is the Ford 3.5-liter EcoBoost engine one of the most failed Ford engines? Known for blending power with fuel efficiency, this turbocharged V6 has been a popular choice in models like Ford GT. However, its first generation, in particular, faced significant issues that landed it on lists of the worst Ford engines. One of the biggest problems with the first-gen 3.5-liter EcoBoost is carbon buildup, stemming from its direct injection system. Unlike port injection, direct fuel injection bypasses the intake valves, allowing carbon deposits to form on them. Over time, this buildup restricts airflow, leading to rough idling, reduced power, and even misfires. Regular walnut blasting or installing an oil catch are costly but effective solutions. Timing chain stretching is another frequent issue. Turbocharging puts added stress on the engine's components, and the timing chain is no exception. When it stretches, drivers may hear a rattling noise on cold starts, eventually leading to misfires and check engine lights. Ford eventually issued a technical service bulletin, but repairs remain labor-intensive and costly. The 3.5-liter EcoBoost also suffers from intercooler condensation, which can cause misfires as moisture is drawn into the engine, especially in humid climates. Ford tried to fix this by redesigning the intercooler, but owners of early models often had to resort to aftermarket solutions. Ford 5.8-liter Windsor V8. Ford 5.8-liter Windsor V8, or 351 Windsor, known for its impressive torque and longevity, this engine became a go-to for Ford trucks, Mustangs, and Broncos from 1969 through 1990. Despite its widespread use and reputation for durability, the 321 Windsor developed a number of persistent issues over the years that have landed it on lists of the worst Ford engines. One of the most serious problems with the 351 Windsor is overheating. Many owners reported overheating issues due to frequent water pump failures, clogged radiators, and faulty thermostats. This not only strained the cooling system, but also led to engine damage if not addressed promptly. Overheating was especially dangerous for the later models with thinner castings, as they were less resistant to heat stress. Oil leaks from the rear main seal and timing cover were also common, especially as the engine aged. The gaskets and seals around these areas would degrade over time, resulting in substantial oil loss and the need for frequent top-offs. This made the 351 Windsor an expensive engine to maintain for many owners. The exhaust manifolds, made of cast iron, were prone to cracking due to the constant heating and cooling cycles. These cracks often caused exhaust leaks, which not only affected performance, but could also lead to further overheating. Replacing the manifolds with more durable aftermarket options was often recommended, but added to repair costs. Despite these issues, the 351 Windsor is still praised by enthusiasts for its robust design and easy modifiability. The engine's power potential and compatibility with performance upgrades, like GT40 heads or stroking kits, kept it popular for aftermarket builds. Still, these flaws make it one of Ford's most problematic engines, showing that even the strongest engines can have their weaknesses when it comes to long-term reliability. Ford 2.8-liter Cologne V6. Is the Ford 2.8-liter Cologne V6 one of the most failed Ford engines? This compact engine found its way into popular models like the Ford Capri and Mercury Bobcat. But its notorious reliability issues left many owners frustrated. Despite its potential, this engine suffered from design flaws that earned it a reputation as one of the worst Ford engines. One of the most critical problems with the 2.8-liter Cologne V6 was its oiling system. The engine's design relied on a series of small oil passages to lubricate the rocker arm assemblies. Unfortunately, these passages were prone to clogging, which led to inadequate lubrication for the camshaft and rockers. Without proper lubrication, the camshaft lobes would wear down prematurely, causing the lifters to fail and leading to performance issues like poor idling, rough operation, and eventual engine damage. In addition to oiling problems, the 2.8-liter Cologne V6 struggled with carburation issues. Many owners reported difficulties in maintaining a stable idle, as the carburetor often required frequent adjustments to keep the engine running smoothly. These tuning issues made it hard to achieve consistent performance, adding to the list of maintenance headaches. Despite these issues, the 2.8-liter Cologne V6 remained in production until 1986. While it offered decent power for a compact engine, its persistent oiling and carburation problems overshadowed its potential. For many, the 2.8-liter Cologne V6 remains a reminder of Ford's struggles to balance compact design with long-term durability, placing it among Ford's most problematic engines. And there you have it, the most failed Ford engines ever made. From the ill-fated 6.0-liter Power Stroke diesel to the infamous 3.8-liter Essex V6, these engines tell a story of engineering missteps, design flaws, and costly repairs. So, what do you think? Did your pick make the list, or did we miss one of your least favorites? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this look back at Ford's most frustrating engines, make sure to give us a thumbs up, share this video, and hit subscribe to join the Muscle Car Masters community. We're always here with the latest muscle car history, engine breakdowns, and automotive insights. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more in-depth content on the highs and lows of classic car engines.